going, Maniacs? My name's Maniacal, and today's matter is the 8th vlog of 2018, August. And it's been a month with the whole moving and everything else like that. Alright, so if I had to give this month a rating, I would definitely give it probably an 8 out of 10. It's been a decent month overall, so let's talk about that. Alright, so I arrived in Kansas on the 1st of August and moved into a new place. We had everything all set up, everything was good to go, and we thought that we were going to get into a nice house. I showed up after driving for about 16 or so hours, and I got there, the grass wasn't cut, didn't really care about that. The person handed me the keys. Oh, it needs a little bit of tender love and some touch-ups and stuff like that, and you'll be good to go. I forget the exact wording. But that was pretty much what she said. I got into the house, threw my pillows down, passed out, thought everything was good to go. Woke up after like 3 hours because, new house. The AC wasn't on. I woke up in like 90 plus, actually probably like 100 something degree plus heat inside the house. And I was just sweating. Had my dog with me. Took her outside. Actually had to stay at my mother-in-law's house. And that was just... it was nuts. So the next day, we called and we tried to talk to them hey, what's going on? We need all these things fixed. We went around the house. There's all these kinds of crazy issues. There's just damages, dirtiness, garbage left everywhere, and the grass wasn't cut. If you're moving into a house and they expect you to cut the grass and have everything clean and stuff like that, you would expect them to at least reciprocate some form of something like that. So we complained about everything. I'll just put it like this. The person I was working with had a lot of issues with that. They were just like, oh no, it'll be fine, I can't do that. So I was like, well, okay, if you're not going to do these things, is it okay for me to get the keys and just, give me back my deposit and stuff like that, we'll call it good? They're like, well, okay, I'll cut the grass myself. Well, okay, I'll bring in people to fix these things. We started raising red flags, and we're like, okay, not cool. We're like, I just want my money back at this point. I don't really want to deal with any kind of extra steps or anything like that. You've already, put a bad taste in my mouth. And this person was acting clueless, like, well, I don't really know. The property owners don't really want us to do this and that and that. So I said, well, can I just talk to the property manager? And that person's tone completely changed from, oh, I don't know, to, you will talk to me only. I am the property manager. And at that point, I was like, okay. I see your point of view. I see what you're trying to do. I see that you're trying to play the victim. So I just drove to the building where the people were located, went inside, talked to them. Within 5 minutes, I had a check for my deposit back and gave them the keys, and they pretty much null and voided the contract we were under. Luckily, I was able to move into another location, which this woman is a friend of my wife's family. Really sweet woman. She lives in the Philippines. It's really awesome. I'm not going to give her whole life story, but basically we were able to move into her house. She was looking for somebody to buy her house or rent her house, and we said we would, we'll rent it for a little while, see how that goes. And yeah, so we're doing that fun stuff. So I moved into the new place on the 2nd and was completely unpacked and everything like that. Had my U-Haul returned and didn't have any issues. So by August 3rd, we were completely set up, completely good to go. No issues. Actually got everything all unpacked into the house. Started setting little things up here and there. And it was just a couple days of me setting stuff up, waiting for my wife to get home. August 5th, my wife finally arrived in Kansas. And we started getting everything all set up, got all the rooms set up. I think the first room I set up actually was this room. And I'll probably do a room tour within one of my monthly vlogs or just as a video, just for fun. It's not really that exciting, if I can be honest. It's just office, but everybody was always like, ooh, because I have, the nice computer setup, so it's like the main attraction. Alright, so one of the big things that happened, because we were trying to get everything set up showing up here, we had internet all set up for the other house, and we had to reschedule and schedule for here. So the day of, which was supposed to be the 3rd, basically we had to call them early in the morning and say, hey, cancel that, send it over to the new property, and, hopefully everything will be good to go. And they're like, okay, yeah, we'll do that. We'll just have to reschedule the date because the guy's already out on his routes, and, we can't really stop him or call him or something like that because it was somebody in another country talking for their call line. But, yeah, I had to deal with that. And then they scheduled us for the 10th for our internet to show up, or for the guy to install the internet. So during that time, I went over to my sister-in-law's place for internet, and that's how I kind of uploaded a couple videos then, which it worked out pretty good. One of the weird things that happened, my wife, she works from home right now, where she has to be on a computer and has to have internet. She does a lot of stuff like that. So when we were there, she kept having all these little issues with the internet, basically in and out, in and out, in and out. Things weren't loading properly. So I wound up calling the internet provider, and I was like, hey, there might be something wrong here. Can you check it out? And the crazy thing with that was they said, yeah, there's something wrong with the line. We can tell. We'll send somebody out to check it out. They sent somebody out. They checked it out. Apparently, gophers had eaten through some of the internet lines and just completely made a mess of things. So they had to rip out a bunch of different line. They put in a whole new line. And, well, internet, I guess, is back up and running now. Hopefully there aren't any rabid gopher hackers out there that are trying to gnaw into the lines. I just, yeah. So I applied to a bunch of different jobs, and I was actually super lucky to be considered for one job that I'm working at right now, where I'm doing graphic design and sign installation for this company. It is work that I actually really enjoy doing, and I hope it's a really good experience because, years and years down the road, hopefully this experience will help me with, another job, say this one doesn't work out or whatever. It's just really good work, really enjoying it, and really hoping that, works out. Since my wife and I have been here, we've done a little bit of helping people out. We helped my brother-in-law and, I guess, sister-in-law, because it's his wife, but help them move one house into another. Basically just help them move, a bunch of their property and help them go out and grab couches and appliances from people, on Craigslist and stuff like that. So that was pretty cool. Oh, another fun little thing. Right before I got a job, and then right after I got the job, was right between a 2-week stint where we had to watch a kiddo. I was jobless for the first week, so I was able to help my wife out a lot. And then that second week, my wife kind of got stuck watching kiddo by herself, which, it was fine. The kid's awesome, but it was just one of those things of I was helping watch out for the kid, and basically he was 2 or something like that. He's a really sweet kid. It was just really kind of a crappy situation for my wife, just because she was working at the same point in time, and basically kiddos are a huge distraction. So, yeah. So I've been streaming a lot more this month than I've been probably ever. And there's a few reasons for that. One, it's just easier to jump on to the computer and stream. Basically, I've been working and moving into this place, and moving into this place has taken a lot of our time. But I've been more just kind of relaxed and really hoping that I could just sit down and, enjoy getting into the scene or whatever. I'm still trying to figure out what I want to stream on. I've been doing Twitch, thinking that would be good. I'm considering going back to YouTube. We were originally doing, Restream, where we could stream onto both. But it really just didn't work out because it was bogging down one or the other. And I started using Streamlabs, and I know everybody else is starting to use Streamlabs as well, just because, we have all the notifications and stuff like that. But I'm going to try to do YouTube this month, see how it goes. And then a buddy of mine, he keeps going on and on about getting onto Facebook, which would be fun, but I know that there's probably going to be a lot more of my personal friends and family watching me, which actually does make me nervous. It's not so bad to get out in front of a public crowd that, you don't personally know, but whenever you get on Facebook, you got the people that you haven't talked to in, I don't know, years and years and years, they suddenly start watching you, and they're like, you're kind of weird. You're kind of doing the weird things there, guy. I don't know if I like it. It's one of those things that's just kind of weird, and I don't know how people will take it. I personally enjoy it, but yeah. I've been playing a lot of Pokemon with Ness, Kirby, and Pit, and we've really enjoyed it. I know that we got to the point right now where we're trying to figure out if they're ever going to allow us to catch Mewtwo. I know Ness and I, we caught Zapdos, and we're trying to get everybody up to the point where we are, where we're starting to maybe go into that next region, and hoping maybe, you know, that would be kind of a fun, like, transition into, like, a whole new series. We streamed it all, and we're hoping to go back and just edit it down to the point where it's like, yeah, this is good, da-da-da-da-da, awesome, awesome, awesome. I don't know how much I actually want to include in the same videos. I don't want it to be super repetitive, so I've been kind of taking my time with editing and stuff like that. And I did take a week off of actually playing Pokemon, just because I didn't want to get burned out on it, because I do really enjoy the game and would love to actually continue the series. I am super afraid that the Pokemon people that actually run the actual Pokemon thing aren't going to be a huge fan of Poke 1, and they might pull the plug on it sooner than later. At this point, we're kind of to where I wanted to be with catching all these, you know, Pokemon and everything like that, and getting to the point of actually catching Mewtwo. But since you can't catch Mewtwo, the thought process is, what's the point of even trying to catch Mewtwo if, you know, he's not catchable? Like, what's the point of battling him? You can just go on to the next region and, you know, start up that and get all the badges and blah, 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 blah. It kind of ruins the whole section 1 of the game, if it makes any sense. I don't know if you have to go to the next region, do all that, and then come back to Kanto. It's one of those really crazy things that I don't even know the answers to. But, so yeah, I took a little bit of a break. The videos, I'm going to slowly edit those and get those out. I don't want to rush through them, but I don't want them to be super repetitive, and I want them to actually be pretty good, because I'm really enjoying the game, and I want people to get the feeling that the game is actually fun and not just a repetitive do. Will say one thing: the Electrical Factory, I don't know if I'm ever going to play that again. Like, trying to get Zapdos? No. Just no. If you don't have a million repels, don't go there. It's just not freaking worth it. Holy crap. It sucked. Another really fun thing with Pokemon was Pokemon Go. My wife and me, we went out to, I think it's like Old City or something like that in Kansas here. And it's in Wichita. And we just walked around for the 3 hours or whatever it was for the Eevee event. And we caught, I think, like 6 or 7 Eevees. And I think we caught like 5 Eevees on my phone and like 4 on her phone. And so that's enough to at least get all the special Eevees from the first couple events. We kept evolving Eevees, thinking, you know, hey, we'll just, you know, see if we can get that Espeon or Espeon or Umbreon. And it turned into a huge issue of you actually have to do special things like walk 10k or 12k with your Eevee and then evolve it at night or during the day. We didn't know that until we evolved a couple extras, and I got like 4 or 5 freaking shiny Jolteons. Just going into the other side of things, if I really had to complain about Kansas with anything, I would say that there's a ton of bugs here for absolutely no reason whatsoever. There's just a lot of bugs. My windshield is covered in a bunch of little white spots. My windshield wiper fluid doesn't even take them off. And I'm trying to figure out a good solution for that. I'm wondering if I need to go buy some special windshield wiper fluid just so I can get the bug guts off my windshield. There's a lot of bugs. Another thing that's kind of weird here is there's a lot of little briars or stickers or whatever you want to call them. And it's kind of hard to go out into the yard barefoot. That's one of the things I love to do, is walk around barefoot while I'm home or whatever. And you can't really do that outside here, because you're going to step on little pokey things that are going to stab into your feet and, you know, make you miserable. I do have to admit that I have been kind of struggling with my whole sleep schedule and stuff like that. Basically, I just get online at night and I will start playing games with the guys, or I'll just start watching YouTube videos, and by the time I realize, you know, the time it is, it's already 4, 5, 6 o'clock in the morning. Work nights, I'm a little bit more cognizant of what I'm doing, but I still stay up till like 2 o'clock, and I'm trying to fix that. I say I'm trying, I keep telling myself I'm trying, I keep telling my wife I'm going to try, but it's really one of those things of I just need to buckle down, set a bedtime for myself, and actually follow through with that bedtime. I need to do it. I need to be an adult. I need to make sure that I'm getting the proper rest for daily life and not be up all night. That's part of being an adult and adulting and blah, blah, blah. Let's see, what else can I talk about? I did get to go to a rodeo. That was kind of fun. Got to see a bunch of horses, cows, mutton, or sheep. And, yeah, that was actually kind of cool. I told my friends I was going to a rodeo, and they said, that does not sound like you at all. It just doesn't sound like your character. I enjoyed it. Hey, why not? Alright, folks. Not too much drama. Like I said, this is a 8 out of 10 month. Just the big thing is, I think I'm no longer in Detroit, and I really just don't have to worry about that anymore. I'm really enjoying being here. It's a lot quieter, a lot less traffic, a lot less people, which is nice. I'm going to put these notes away. And I'm hoping that this place works out for me. I know I'm away from my family. If any of my family is watching this, just remember I do love you guys. I just left for personal reasons of, trying to make a better life for my kiddos and realizing that the laws in Detroit, specifically the Detroit area, for just everything, were just too much. And don't be afraid to call me. I know I probably don't call as much as I should, but please don't be afraid to call me. I know everybody always tells me I need to call more, so hey, if you miss me, call me. And to everybody else out there, my name is Maniacal. Don't forget that you matter. I will talk to you all later. Bye-bye. Have fun with that.
Yep. Oh, God! I should have seen that coming.
I just turned
around. Oh, that moment you realize you don't have the thruster because of your controller.
Oh, no. I think it's F on the keyboard.
Nope! You're a dick! I don't use keyboard!